only found him later, but I met them before. So I said, if you have a consignment worth 19 million rand, why would you not have 250,000?
That's true.
To convert that
250,000 rands.
Rands, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Hmm?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So you can already say that, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I'll have a look at that because I was thinking, even if I get a wholesale license to sell locally in SA, the problem I see locally in SA is who do you sell it to? Wholesale. It's a bit of a. I still need to do that market research.
Yeah, but but if you put together a fund that gives you the peace of mind, because fuel will always give you headaches.
Oh, correct.
Otherwise, somebody may say, yes, I picked up 40,000 liters, but it evaporated on the way.
Oh, true.
Yeah?
No, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a risky one.
And then you end up putting together the infrastructure. Yeah. And then 100%. Like you said last time, you've invested some money.
Yes.
And you are getting a return.
Yes.
And that return is associated with risk.
That's correct.
But that risk is manageable.
Yes.
Because you can go up, you can also go down. But if it's a structured something, let's say we all put 20,000 into something, then a person who is going to run it will be subject to the law, not subject to the friendship. Like what you have seen in terms of the article. The journalist is saying, I know Mawere. Yeah. And the article was in his favor.
Correct.
And you guys don't understand. I've known him well, so it's better for me to portray him as an exile because it suits a narrative that Zimbabweans want to hear. Yes. That the government is so bad that they chased away business people like Mawere. I can't change that narrative. Yeah. So somebody who say, like what you are seeing here, I get punished for creating jobs in Zimbabwe. Yeah, true. And some people say, I'm the only one who is answering today. But the employees are nowhere there to actually say, we were operating as a company. Yes. But whatever you start now, the one who is going to be driving with not even matric is going to be in control of the truck itself and the cargo. Correct. So if you just multiply 40,000 liters by 10 rand, yes, how much is that? That's 400,000. Yeah, correct. Almost 500,000. Yes. And if something happens to that guy, he drinks and he forgets he's carrying 400,000 plus the cost of the truck. Yeah, it's a total mess. It's a total mess. Yeah. So whatever you have worked for, you are not in control of it. Correct. But when you leave, you accumulate capital. So you can have like a revenue share like Microsoft. Yes. Then get channels of distribution. Then organize them into a circle. Okay. And if I get 100 people who know somebody willing to pay for fuel, then I can negotiate a render with somebody with a tank who has a problem accessing forex.
Oh, yes, correct.
Then my job is just to bring the liquid, authenticate, but it's not going to be treated as your own personal investment.
Yes.
Because for some reason, people who work, they want to know the employer
True.
so that they can be angry with the employer. So even the SMM matter, there are many employees who are angry with me.
Yeah.
Why,
Yeah.
why were you involved in politics? Why were you involved? They think I was a politician.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, and if this can be misunderstood, then a journalist does that. It means tomorrow somebody steals from you or takes the company and say, no, my boss, once I receive US dollars,
Yeah.
then he instructs me to smuggle the US dollars
Oh, yeah.
to South Africa so that he can buy more fuel.
Yeah.
But I'm not a criminal, but my boss is
Correct.
my boss is in Cape Town.
Yeah.
He's a criminal.
Yeah.
What are you going to do now?
Yeah. Yeah. It becomes a problem.
Yeah. So if it becomes a problem, then you're saying, I want also to understand how we handle the media so that we have an understanding. A journalist says, I'm not going to change the story, but I want to work with you. But that story damages even you.
Correct.
Yeah, just to say that this is a reality. I invested in liquid, took it to Zimbabwe, got my US dollars from my liquid. The money that was
Yeah.
used to pay for the fuel originated from from South Africa, was earned
Yes.
legitimately and is classified as free funds.
Yes.
And it's my money. I can choose to buy a house, I can choose to buy this, but because of the Zimbabwe problem, I'm trying to play my part to use my money and get my margin.
Correct.
And people are talking of cartels. I'm not a cartel, but I'm just saying is why shouldn't I participate? But if you are alone, and if I was alone dealing with this journalist, you know what would have happened? It becomes
Yeah.
Mawere versus the journalist.
That's correct.
Yeah, what his frustration is he wants to bring my name, but he can't bring it because the people he's talking, he doesn't know what they know or they don't know.
Correct.
But his
Sorry,
suspicion.
Security. This journalist issue was over fuel.
Which one?
The journalist issue, this one where he's refusing to retract.
No, it was based on Johnny's story where he says Mawere Stokes, whatever. Uh, so that was his headline that I'm the one who is trying to undermine the South African judges.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and the story no longer had Janice in it.
Yeah. Okay.
It only came as a side issue. But the primary story is
Okay.
Mawere is fighting back the Zimbabwean government using
Yeah.
C2C.
That's an incorrect way of looking at it, because technically, like I mentioned before, is this thing affects every Zimbabwean. The government can literally walk in and say they're reconstructing the company.
Yeah, they can say you didn't pay taxes.
Correct.
You brought fuel, didn't pay taxes because you smuggled the money. How did you get the money back to South Africa? You received US dollars. Can you show us how you remitted that money?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, not true.
Then they say, okay, you are related to so and so who we don't like.
Yeah.
Now we are taking the company and we
Correct.
have the law. So all you are saying is when you look at this, you are saying, I also want to invest, but now if we had a pool Then we will raise it with the president that we are C2C. I have
yeah,
invested my money. I got my money here. We have mobilized money. But this is free funds without
yeah,
anyone targeting you.
correct,
And we write formally to the Reserve Bank to say if people are allowed to retain their money in Forex in Zimbabwe because they earned it outside the country, why should my money sent as fuel be subject to uh, exchange controls of Zimbabwe?
correct,
Yeah. And we can give you all the records where I paid for the fuel in South Africa. I didn't pay for it in Zimbabwe. But once I
correct.
sell it there, I must be allowed to cross the border with my money, including my profit.
No, true.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong I'm doing. I can do a solar plant. It reduces the power. It's like I'm generating new power for ESCOM.
Correct.
Why should that not be understood? Then we develop the understanding as we are also participants in these groupings, so they can then become what we think they should be. Like now, is Tapiwa interested in the circle of learning from this case study of Garikai? How did
Yeah,
it start? What was the communication before? Did he know that I was not in exile?
yeah, not true.
If he knew, then why did he say I'm in exile?
Yeah, correct.
Then we say those are the distortions that affect public policy. To say there are people who
Wow.
are abusing our laws.
Yes,
Mawere is on both sides of the border.
yes,
So people like that, we should use Zimbabwean law against them because they ran away to avoid being caught in the net.
in the network, correct.
Yeah. So they will then say Mawere, Strive, so and so. So they'll have a list of people.
Yeah,
Yeah. But the people who know me, they're silent.
correct. Yeah, yeah, which is really unfair.
But it can be cured. Like this journalist sees now, oh, there's another angle I had not looked. So that's the first concession.
Yes,
All he's saying is, whatever I've written, let it remain because my readers want to read this.
yes,
That's all he's saying. He's not saying
yes,
he doesn't admit that is wrong.
yeah,
So, but for fuel, if you are interested, then we can say, okay, so how much do you want to invest in fuel as a
yes,
business? Then how best can we get cheaper diesel?
yes,
Then you give us your prices, we find the cheapest diesel. Then second, how do you want to transport it?
yes,
And how do you want to deliver it?
correct.
And how will the money be remitted to your order in South Africa
So,
so that you buy
correct.
a new consignment?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's a bit tricky, and I think you're right. You're right, Sekuru. The first thing is to find out protocol on who is the buyer on the Zim side, which I'll try work with Gerald on. But then also, yeah, that whole exchange of money is so important because I need to show proof that I'm buying it directly here with my own cash.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Sekuru.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
All right.